All right. Good morning, guys. It is 6:33, so I'm a little late. I'm just trying to figure out what really turned the tape here. I woke up this morning, was ready to do the 20 and 520, did it. Futures are up 25 handles. A little bit of upside follow through to yesterday's move by the Fed. And then all of a sudden, by the time I was out of my ice barrel, I was like, what the hell is the market doing down 20 handles? And now they're down 40 handles. I know I saw there was a tweet by the president saying, do the right thing and lower rates before the April 2nd tax date. But I don't know, crazy tape, I'll tell you. It's really, really tricky. Tricky. Adult swim. You have to really know what you're doing, know what kind of size you're taking, take your trades and love them and leave them. You can't get too opinionated here. You really can get in trouble. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Cooler heads will always prevail. Went from an easy trim some longs into some strength. Okay, these things are up a lot more. What can we do? Are they going to be, buying the whole? Or are we just going to get run over? Anyway, it is what it is. It's the market we're in. We're in a very headline-driven market. We're in a market that's very tricky, and you have to know your levels, and you could really get run over if you're, in the wrong place at the wrong time. But on a Friday note, it is Thursday. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. March Madness starts today. It is spring. Take a breath, and we'll figure out, what's the story for today. At this point, the SPYs are down 4. They were up 250 this morning. They really were at, 569. Now they're sitting here at 563. Yesterday's low was 561. So we'll see what happens here this morning. Does 561 hold? Is that buyable? Or does 559-ish hold? Either which way, the day after the Fed is usually a tricky day, but we'll see how it goes. As far as the Qs, Qs have a low. The Qs are definitely a little weaker. This is what? This is 472. 472 is support. If 472 doesn't hold, it's going to definitely be a little trickier. Bitcoin was up. Everything was up last night. Even everything was up as of this morning. Now you have the Qs. Qs are down 450. SPYs are down 450. Got to be really, really light, light in this market. And otherwise you can really get in a little bit of trouble here. So the Qs right now, you have 472. This is what, 474. So we'll see how we handle yesterday's lows. And then just, see what we could do. It could be a bear flag, Mateo. Bear flags, happen. Sometimes you get a little bit of a push above a spot, and sometimes it's a bear flag continuation. I'm in the camp that, we're going to make lower lows going into April, May, June, but was hopefully thinking we can get a little bit of more of a push prior, but that's what happens. They want to catch as many people off guard as possible. So we'll see how that goes. So ultimately, if we don't hold this little area in the Qs or hold this area in the SPYs, just got to, you got to move on. Move on. So what's going to give us some clues today? I'm coming in long NVIDIA. The video wasn't spectacular, but at least it was a little stronger. When I looked this morning, it was up $1.70. I'm like, all right, I'll trim some NVIDIA up to $1.70 and then see what happens here. See, if we can get above, this 122-ish area. But that's not the trade now. What's the trade now? Do we hold, 114, 115? Right now, the NVIDIA is only down 50 cents. So I actually just bought a little bit more. So we'll see how that goes. Bitcoin is down a little bit. It was up, $1 last night. I bought a little bit more of that right here. I'm just trying to not get a little bit too, too caught up here just in case. But we'll see. SPYs are down 4. And this is what the market, market we're in right now, my boys, my dogs. Europe is down bigly. All right. Well, Europe's been up a lot. Asia's down a bunch. Oh, goodness gracious. Thursday. Cheers. Anyway, I got my iced coffee. I'm going to situate, and, we're pros here. What do pros do? Pros trade, pros adjust, pros figure out what's next. I am long some Mr. Yes. Mr. last night was up, $10. So we'll see what happens with Mr. We'll see if, it's buyable in the hole today. So what's the low here from yesterday? The low here from yesterday is 287. So we'll see if it holds 287. There were buyers yesterday. There was buyers in crypto yesterday. So we'll see. So I'm going to see, does NVIDIA, is it buyable? Is, the SPYs versus yesterday's lows, the Qs versus yesterday's lows, Mr. versus yesterday's lows. This is how you have to think about, if you're a trader and you trade real time, this is how you have to think. You have to adjust. You have to move on the fly. Things are fluid. If you invest in a 401k, just put in every month, you're going to be fine. I promise you. Bull market wins over time, 529. Even my wife's blood in the street account. I'd like to put another tier in. I only have a third in. Anyway, what do I think about the new strategy of preferred stock? Okay, I don't know. We hit a macro target yesterday. Good morning, Red Dog. I don't know. I think I got a lot of emails saying we're going higher this morning. I had one of my friends who manages a huge fund saying we got the all clear signal. I'm like, the all clear signal? What the hell does that mean? I don't see all clear. I see, choppy waters ahead. But anyway, so with that being said, we'll see. Again, SPYs, Qs, Bitcoin, NVIDIA, Mr., narrow your focus down. Some people think Amazon's the best looking, Mag 7 name. So we'll see what happens there. Amazon was just up this morning. Now, what's Amazon doing? Amazon is down $1.50. So Amazon is worth a look. So, everything else is kind of loose and wide. Got dragged. Meta got dragged yesterday. Meta didn't have much of a move. Still hanging here on the 200-day by a thread. That's loose and wide. I'd be careful with Meta. Dash has been really good. I'm going to look to Dash. I've been buying dips in Dash. So maybe that'll be something that, could hold this area right here. What's yesterday's low? This is 185-ish. So hopefully Dash could hold 185-ish. And we'll see. You get a trend day usually the day after. Maybe we open down and buyers come in or not. But bottom line is, got to know what you can handle here. And if you happen to be making money intraday and then looking for follow through the next day and you're losing a lot more than you made the prior day, then just go with a lot less. Expect a lot less. All right, so we'll see what happens here. Does 185-ish hold? Buying dips in Dash has been better than paying up. And here we are, Berkshire Hathaway market. Okay, China pulling in two. Thoughts on BABA? Nugsy's asking my thought. BABA, I have a bunch of options on. Looked like it was hanging in here. Might not. We're opening well below 140, 150, below the 8-day. It's a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I'm not in BABA stock. I'm in options. It's down in 550, as you can see right here. Just, very predatory tape. Very, very predatory tape. What do I mean by that? I mean, this has been, trending. I know we've had a lot of really good trades in BABA. I bought through 145s. I was able to sell a bunch of my options. I figured I could buy some options back, take out 148 in the week ahead, and then here we are where it's like they're not making it easy. Even this Baidu is gross. Looked like it was breaking out. Everyone got all bullish on BABA like that, and Baidu, and all of a sudden you had to sell strength, and then if you didn't sell strength, you came into the 8-day. Now we're down again. So, I guess if you did sell into strength, because you did have a decent move, then got to look to see, buying back in the hole. I wouldn't overly focus on the Chinese names, but I'm long small Baidu, so I'll look to buy a little bit back. What changed the futures? Yeah, Trump said something about, do the right thing, Powell, April 2nd, reciprocal taxes. And, but the futures were still up 20. It took a while for it to unravel like that, but we'll see. Once again, I'm going to simplify it. You have the SPYs right here. It's getting rejected into the 200-day. You have this low, which is what, 561.63. So use that. If we were to get below 561.63, it's going to be a very trappy type move, very sloppy type move. Anyone looking for, a little bit of follow through today will be trapped. What are the SPYs doing right now? The SPYs are down 435. SPYs and Qs. Qs are down 450. So this is your first level here. This is now gone. And this is 559. I tell my traders all the time, like, guys, don't count your money. Last night I was out, it was Sean's birthday, and everyone's like, oh, Red Dog, you see, Bitcoin's up $1, Mister's up 10. Nvidia's up $1. It's gonna be a great morning. We'll trim and then you walk in today and it's like, whoa. So that's why you gotta make your bed and then figure out how you want to sleep in it, and then figure out what to do there next, and just again do what you can handle. Comments, retaliatory tariffs. It's priced in. We know what's going on between now and then. But anyway, so 561, 559. That's your simplification. Do the spies hold that? Qs 572-ish. Do we hold that? I would say look at Amazon to see, does Amazon give you a viable trade in the hole? That's something that might be better than others, a little safer. Does Nvidia, that was just up $1.70 before, does it hold this 114.50-ish area? It's down small. And just be careful. Don't do too much here. And we'll see how it goes. Scott, we're still just looking at an inside day. Yeah, I hear you. It's just, obviously you go from up 25 handles to down 40 handles, 60 handles in 25 minutes. That could definitely throw some people off, especially if you were thinking, easy and methodical. But anyway, it's never easy and methodical. Sometimes it is. We've had trending markets where you could be in 15, 20 positions, massaging them, letting the market work with you. That's not the tape right now. We're in a tape where we've been up for 2 years in a row. We have a tape where the administration probably wants the market lower, so this way they can get rates lower, so this way they can refinance their debt. They want to wash out excess. They want to wash out fraud. And in the meantime, there's a lot of collateral damage. Like I just heard this morning that the Department of Education, we're getting rid of the Department of Education federally. Like, what is that? Anyway, there's a bunch of head-scratching news coming out that could drive you a little silly. So don't get driven silly. Just control what you can control. That's your keyboard. That's what you can handle. That's, how you deal with your wife, your family. That's how you deal with, your situation. And just, absorb, and, do what you got to do. That's all I could say. That's why I have Red Dog Mindset. Red Dog Mindset, if you subscribe above, if you find value in the 630 Club, it's a way to get yourself situated where you don't let the little things worry you. You get your nice workout in, you get your nice multiple plans. I was actually thinking about it in my 25-20 as I was doing my dumbbells, doing my weights, talking to my dogs from around the world. I'm like, guys, something feels a little bit off. I don't even want to check. I want to get my mind right, get ready to go. In the barrel, I was talking to Conrad. I'm like, you know what? On the way from the sauna to the barrel, we don't look at the phone. We already know what's happening. We were feeling good. You don't want to, change the tone of your thinking so fast because it could mess you up. And then look at the phone and you're down 40 handles. It's like your inner thoughts always know. That's what we talk about seat time. I've been trading for 28 years and you just kind of know when things are just, a little trickier. And that happens. And then we deal with it and we adjust. All right, guys, good luck today. I'm going to do like 40 charts for the alpha team. I'm going to do my note for Redler All Access. I'm going to, situate and trade what's in front of me for the morning. And then I head into the city. I'm going to see my friend Liz Clayman. I have Fox Business at 3:03. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to probably eat some chicken wings, have a Red Dog sandwich, and watch March Madness, and let the boys dance. They've been working their butts off since they're 4 or 5 years old to get the spotlight to play in a tournament like this. So congratulations to them. Go show your stuff. Make the right decision at the right time. That's all you could do. Once again, we'll see how it goes today. We'll see if we could buy verse levels and see what holds. And if things don't hold, get out of the way and figure out what the next market discovery phase is. And is this bounce over? We'll know a lot more today, tomorrow. All right, guys, good luck.